Hey guys, all right. So Bo is here today. Actually, I'm gonna take this thing off. Whew, thank God. You know, COVID-19 has been kind of a pain in the butt, especially with making these videos because I gotta really project. Yes, thank you for that, Bo. So the topic of the video today, if you guys haven't gotten an idea yet, it's about walking dogs that are really strong and maybe sometimes too strong for you. Now, Bo weighs 106, 107 pounds, and he has a very low center of gravity. I weigh about 140, 150 pounds. And so, you know, a lot of times what will happen is most of the caretakers for dogs are going to be women. Women are naturally caretakers anyways, usually better than men. And so what ends up happening is sometimes if you get a dog like Bo and he is not extremely well behaved, he is going to be, or they are going to be very prone to pulling you and maybe pulling you to the point where they drag you. My sister is about 5 foot tall. She probably weighs about 100 pounds, 110 pounds, and she had a 120-pound Mastiff. And he saw a cat one time, and my sister wasn't paying attention, and he dragged her. So if you guys notice, Bo is wearing a special harness. And if we come over here, you can see this brand of harness is actually called an Easy Walk harness. Now, this harness is actually a corrective harness, and what it'll do is it'll actually put some pressure on Bo's shoulders to go ahead and correct him without actually you having to use some sort of choke collar or a prong collar or something like that. The other things that you can use for larger dogs when you're trying to control when they're walking or pulling and that kind of stuff is something called a gentle leader. Now, the gentle leader you'll probably see on the screen right now, and you're going to notice that there's a loop going over the snout, and then there's something coming underneath. And this is not a muzzle. The animals can actually pant and drink water with this thing on. It is much better for dogs whose attention is all over the place and you really need to keep their attention or keep them engaged instead of a dog that just pulls nonstop. The other thing that people will use sometimes are prong collars. I personally am not a fan of prong collars. Prong collars are those collars that have like things that go into the neck. And those are things that typically are used wrong the majority of the time. The way that they're supposed to be used is if the dog is pulling, you're supposed to go ahead and give it a jolt or a snap or something like that, which will go ahead and distract or interrupt the dog's pattern of what they're focused on. Instead of what I see the majority of the time happening is the dogs will be pulling non-stop and the prongs are just going into the neck the whole time. That is not how it's supposed to be used. The last thing that sometimes can be used is something called a Weisswalkie, and it looks like a long leash. It kind of wraps around the body and also then ends up pulling on the abdomen a little bit. These are some different devices that you can use if you have a big dog that you're having difficulty walking with and having difficulty training. So if you guys have any questions about this particular topic, please leave it in the comment box. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you know somebody who needs to see this, share it with them. Thanks for watching, be safe, and take care of yourselves. All right, Bo, let's go back inside. Boy. Oh, one other thing. P.S. With these harnesses and the gentle leader, you have to be very, very careful that they can actually slip out of it. If Bo tries to back out of this, he will potentially be able to slip out of this harness. And if your dog is the kind of dog that's going to take off and start running, you need to be very cautious to make sure that you have the double clip on them, meaning that you have some sort of collar that you'll be able to grab onto or the second leash or the leash is attached to, because if they do end up taking off, it's going to be a hard time getting them back. Just something I thought about on my way back. Thanks for watching. Take care. Oh, watch out.